5 minutes after 9 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Wednesday morning. Every once in a while, I think twice a year, you hear about the Silver Springs Train Show. Silver Springs Lions Club Train Show, I should say. And I'm turning the wrong button down. Okay. See, one of these days I'm going to learn which button does what. Bob Chadwick is the man that we thank for those train shows, and he's here again to talk about the next one, which is coming up this coming Saturday, believe it or not. Bob has made wonderful contributions to all of us, and probably under the radar for most of us, because how many years were you a deputy?
17.
17 years, a deputy, Marion County. You're a member of the Silver Springs Lions Club and coordinator of the train show, and it's this Saturday and Sunday, both days.
Right.
And good morning, how you doing?
Fine. How you doing, Larry?
Good. Did you buy any new trains since last time I saw you?
A few.
You have?
Yeah.
How much are they? How much does the train cost?
It depends on.
I'm asking a dumb question.
It depends on how old they are or what you're looking for. I mean, you could spend $50 or you could spend $1,500.
Do you have one you're looking for? Like you go on eBay every day? Oh man, nobody's selling it.
No,
yet. No,
I don't.
You're not into that part of it.
There's certain ones that I have in back of my mind what I'm looking for, but
like what?
They're super expensive.
Like what?
Well, scale model Hudson 773, which runs about $1,500.
Wow.
And that would be one car or one?
No, that's an engine. An engine
Oh,
and
an
tender.
engine. Okay.
There are two cars then.
Why does it cost so much?
Because of the rarity. In other words, they didn't make as many of them, and they were the closest thing to a scale engine that Lionel made, and it just demands the price.
So how big? How big is that?
Well, it's the
Closest thing to a scale, you mean there's...
in other words, a scale model. In other words, you have a quarter scale, a 1/16 scale, this and that. A majority of your Lionel trains are not based on an actual scale. In other words, like 1/25
Really?
or something like that.
So do you, when you're putting together a layout, do you ever buy the smaller scale and put it like high on a mountain so it seems like it's farther away?
Yeah,
Do you really?
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. When you have if you have a large room and you have a mountain view, they put
You want to make
they
it
put
seem...
HO scale like midway,
Uh-huh.
and then up on the top they'll put N gauge.
And N is like...
So N gauge is half the size of HO. It's
Okay, okay.
O scale. HO means half of O, and then N gauge is half of HO.
Wow,
that's cool.
And then there's
nice.
gauges in between that. But when you look at the size comparison, you stand back and look at it.
So it creates the illusion, huh?
It gives you the illusion of being miles and miles away from it, and you're only maybe 6-8 feet.
Wow. And is it the size of a pencil? I mean, give us an idea of how big that is.
Well, you have the Z scale, which is the smallest of actual running trains,
Uh-huh.
which is half the size of N. And you're talking an
wow, it's
engine
gotta
is
be tiny.
maybe 4 or 5 inches long.
Wow.
Oh, okay. That gives me an
Okay?
idea. Yeah.
And a box car might be maybe 3 inches long, something like that, and maybe 1.5, 2 inches high, if that.
How do they stay on the track when they're that tiny?
Well,
They're
they
small.
stay on, but if they're kind of very, very difficult to get back on the track if you,
Oh, really?
if you're not nimble-fingered or you have bad eyesight.
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine that in a layout, though, that a train that you're trying to create the illusion that it's far away. I could imagine that it would be okay if it didn't move. I guess it's probably more fun when it moves, though, right?
Oh yeah, that's the whole idea. I mean, you can have trains and just put them up on a wall and display them in that and enjoy them that way. But the fun of it is really running them. I mean, there's people that spend big bucks on trains, and they want the box and everything else, and they put it up on a wall and look at it.
Oh.
Well, that's their way of collecting, but I'd rather buy it, put it on a
Yeah.
track and run it.
Yeah, me too.
And then put it up on a wall and, take it down every once in a while. That's what they were made for.
So let's see, is there... Oh, let's give the basics. The train show is this Saturday and Sunday. Where is it again?
At the National Guard Armory.
Okay, and for those of you who don't know where that is, it's pretty easy to find, really, especially now that they built the bridge there. How do you give directions? What do you say?
Well, I tell them if they're coming in from 200 to go to the light just before the bridge and turn right.
Yeah.
If they're coming from Pine to go over the bridge, stay in the left-hand lane, and at the first traffic light, turn left.
Yeah, yeah.
It's on 17th Street, the bridge that connects.
The bridge,
bridges.
right, the railroad bridge.
But the National Guard Armory, what's that road called? Do you know? Do I have it here?
It's
Brian?
Southwest 20th Street.
Thank you.
900 Southwest 20th Street.
Thank you. So is there, are you doing any Flag Day related events, or is it just a coincidence?
It's basically just a coincidence, but I think I'll just, at the beginning, do a pledge to the flag and at the beginning of the show. And
So it starts, there's an actual beginning. I didn't realize that. There's an actual, like, kickoff or something?
well, you
Well,
have
we'll be this
in
time.
other words, the doors open to the public at
Right.
9 o'clock.
Right.
So up till 9 o'clock, it's the vendors getting themselves set up or going around looking at things because there's a lot of buying going on before the show opens to the public.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, oh yeah, the vendors are sometimes they're the best customers.
Selling to each other?
Selling and, yeah, because if they have someone looking for a particular item and they don't have it and they walk in the show and they're setting up and they look and they see that someone else has it, they'll go over and work out a price and buy it and then, take it back
Right.
and sell it
And you do this twice a year, right?
twice a year.
Twice a year. So once in the summer, I guess this is close to summer. It's not quite summer. It's like a week away from summer. But and then you do it again at the
November.
right? Thanksgiving time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have it? How long have you been doing this?
18 years.
18 years. Okay, so it's grown over 18 years.
It's actually dropped off primarily because of the economy.
Oh, really?
And a lot of the vendors are my age and older, and it's just getting to be a grind. The money's not there per se to the shows. The cost of the shows are going up because, your rental fees go up, this and that. And a lot of the vendors are starting to back off.
Is it mostly men?
99 and 9/10.
Oh, really? But you
Yeah,
have
there are some women
You
out
have
there,
some lady
yes.
train enthusiasts. Mm-hmm. Huh.
Do you think more and more people are having like mini shows online and there are websites for selling trains and swapping things?
Well,
and
that
that's why
seems
it's
to be the
gone
most
down?
popular thing is the eBay and that. People say, well, why go to the store when I can go on eBay? And, you could sit there for hours and just scroll through pages and pages of different trains and train items for sale. The only catch-22 that I have with that is you don't always get what you see. They can show you a picture of a pristine boxcar,
Yeah.
and when you get it in
Not
the mail,
pristine.
it's been through the routine, So
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that is scary. And we have, how many train shops, I'm not trying to give free ads to them, but do we have more than one in Ocala?
we have none in Ocala at
None?
this time.
Oh,
Well, what happened? Robin?
The only train shop that per se, and he's not really a train shop, he does deal with trains, is Rob's out around top of the
on
world.
200.
Okay, so what happened to the one by the Schnitzel factory?
Yeah,
They
there
closed-
was one on 14th.
They closed down about 2 months ago.
Do you think
Oh, wow.
eBay and that kind of thing was the reason for that?
No, let's just say that
Oh, it's something
poor
we
management.
shouldn't say. Okay, all right. We do have a call, and I should have mentioned this in the beginning, that if you'd like to call and talk about trains, you're welcome to. The number is 622-WOCA. That is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline. Bob Chadwick is our guest. Good morning. You're on the air with Bob Chadwick.
Yeah, good morning, Bob.
Morning.
Say, I can remember years ago, speaking of women not being interested in model railroading, but I believe Lionel tried to get the interest in women up by having a pink train. I don't know if you can remember that or not. That's been a while back. Does anybody in your organization have that train?
The pink line, Lady Lionel, was introduced in 1957 by Lionel. It ran for 2 years approximately 2 years in their catalogs, and then they dropped it from the catalog. But it went on in inventory for about another 2 years. It wasn't a good seller. The primary reason was they insulted the girls. They looked at a pink engine with pastel color cars, and they said, "This isn't like Brother Johnny's black engine
Yeah, that
and the
makes sense,
Tuscan and green cars and stuff like that." So the sale didn't go over that big, which now puts a price on them as to much higher because of a limited production on it. Lionel has reissued it back in the 90s. Williams Company, Williams Trains has also reproduced it. K-Line reproduced it. So there are sets out there that look almost identical to Lionel. They aren't Lionel, but as far as the colors go and the engines and the cars and that, they're out there. They're available, and there might be one or two at the show.
Yeah, I was just thinking that the original pink Lionel going back to '57, that must be worth a couple of bucks because there ain't that many of them.
Well, again, the value, the last I heard on it, as far as a somewhat accurate value, was quite a few years back, around $1,500. And that would be for a set in the original boxes and very minimum scratches, dents, and wear on it.
Can you remember back if that was a passenger train or a freight?
It was a freight.
Freight train, huh?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they had...
Another real quick question. How big is model railroading in Europe, and do they use the same gauges there?
Model railroading in Europe is big. They have different gauges. HO is very popular in Europe. They have a lot of live steam in Europe. O gauge and what we call G gauge here in this country, and they call it, I believe they call it G over there also, where they actually run them outside. They'll have tracks set up all around the yard, and they run live steam.
Wow. Okay, well, I'm looking forward to the show this weekend. I'm going to bring some canned goods for your food drive, and thank you very much for being on the radio, and I look forward to your model railroad shows twice every year. Thank you.
Thank you. Look me up when you get there.
Will do.
There you go. So I went on eBay while you were talking, and I, for some reason, it just came up. I wasn't looking for this specifically. I was just curious what the prices would be. But there is a 1989 Lionel Old Glory Series boxcar set. It's got 3 boxcars in the box, and each one of them has an American flag with a scene from our history. One is the lunar landing. $14.59 right now. It's the auction ends in 1 hour and 22 minutes. Want me to put your name on there?
No.
Have you ever heard of that? I mean, that's perfectly in line with the Flag Day thing.
Oh yeah, there's all different Lionel and K-Line, Mike's, MTH, Williams have all done different series for different companies. Campbell Soup.
Oh really?
Christmas cars and things like that. They'll sign on or get a company to come and ask them to make a set for them, and they'll run so many. A lot of times they're for promotional for different companies and things like that.
I would imagine that the sales of them go up around the time you're doing the November show.
Correct. Usually when the fall hits, people start thinking of the holidays, getting into a little more into the Christmas spirit, and then they start thinking of the trains. And the serious train build, the holiday layout builders usually start like mid-October and start collecting the stuff, getting things ready, moving furniture, and putting up the table work, platform work, and that to start putting up the trains.
My brother does that. He starts the day after Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 4 sheets of plywood, and he's huge layout, but he does it. Have the weight of the engines changed at all, and the materials that they're made out of, are they still steel, or have they gone to lighter?
They're using die cast, but again, with as technology goes on, they've learned ways to make using lighter alloys, and you don't have the spur gear motors like you used to have with all the heavy gearing and stuff like that. And they're now using, they've been using what they call can motors, which basically once they burn out, you throw it away and replace it.
Oh, wow.
So, but the size of the engines that they're building now are bigger than what they had in the past, but the weight has come down quite a bit.
You must have tiny little tools, right, to work on those trains?
You need
tiny
some small
screwdrivers?
screwdrivers and things like
Special
that.
glasses so you can see what you're doing? No?
Well, that helps sometimes, when trying to get pins in certain places.
Kind
and
of be
things
like
that,
a wristwatch or something like that.
Not quite that delicate. I mean, a lot with the O gauge. When you get into HO and the N gauge, yes, you need basically a telescope, in my opinion.
So what about
to work on 'em.
the layout itself? I have a couple of questions about that. Does the layout have sound effects? Like, could I don't know. Like
There are sound effects that are made where you can put a small board with a speaker, 2-inch, 3-inch, 4-inch.
And what
depending
kind of
upon
sound would you hear?
cattle, chickens, pigs.
Oh, that's
Really?
pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Station sounds where you could put it in the
Oh,
station
really?
where you hear people walking and shuffling around.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
In the trains themselves, they have what they call cab chatter, which is the engineer talking to the tower
Yeah.
and or talking to the
Do you know in
people in the train.
the only real trains I know is the New York trains, the Long Island Railroad, and the subway system, which is two totally different looking trains, both on the outside and the inside.
Right.
And I'm guessing the Long Island Railroad is the one that looks most like the trains in the model train set. But are there trains that look like the subway trains?
Sure.
There are?
They make subway. Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Long Island Railroad and all the different ones. There are, especially up in the Northeast,
You get a
there's
subway?
collectors that just do the subways.
Oh, including the graffiti? I'm sorry, Bob.
They actually have decals that you could put on the side of the cars.
Oh,
for
wow,
the
wow.
Oh, how
graffiti.
cool is that? Do young people get into this as a hobby? Are they collectors?
No, that's one of the factors with this hobby. It's dying out, and we're trying. And I say anyone that's into trains is trying to get this younger generation into trains, because it's everything today is push button. Sit there with the joystick and watch a TV screen and the electronics. It's difficult to get them into it and keep them into it. My grandson, which you've met, he's 7 years old. I'm working with him, trying to get him interested, which he is, but give him a video game and he's off.
Yeah.
So, and the thing that kind of hurts is the fact that people don't realize with trains, there's more to it than just running a train and watching it go around, running a course on a layout, because you have the technology or the ability to work on them, repair them, take them apart, fix them, mechanical things, electrical, building the layout, working with tools, planning, cutting wood, measuring, things like that. That's all part of the program for work, with trains. And kids today just don't want to get into that.
Wow. I went on eBay to look for the subway. You can buy 2 cars for $199.
Gosh.
And they look like they've got 3 or 4 doors. Let me see. You know how many doors are on a subway? Lots more than a train. A train, you usually have 1 door on one side, right? Or one on each side. And subway, you have those sliding doors so people go in and out.
Yeah, they usually have like 3 doors.
I'm trying to find
one
it.
at each corner and one in the middle.
And so I'm wondering if it plays the first 2 notes of "Swing Low, Sweet Chariot." did I ever tell you that?
No.
When you go into the subway in New York, the door opens up and it goes, "Bing, bing."
Yeah.
And I always feel like, "Sweet Chariot,
That's right.
swing low."
There's a lot of social aspect too with trains. I mean, through the generations also, because that way you're focusing, like you said, you're fixing something with tools and you're actually having a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I get a lot of people coming up to me at the shows and ask if, do I do repairs, or do I know somebody who does repairs on the older engines and that. And I've done work on, the oldest engine I worked on was 1934, a standard gauge, Lionel standard gauge engine for a customer.
Gosh.
And I mean, it's amazing. You take this old engine, take it apart, and you put power to it, and it runs.
That is
You
amazing.
know, as old as it is, it still runs.
Oh, I found some subway cars with graffiti, $24.99.
Oh,
How come they're so cheap? The
They're
other ones,
probably HO.
I don't know. It's a 4-pack. It only came out in 2013, so I guess it's
HO.
pretty new, I guess. With graffiti. That's interesting. So do you have anything on your wish list? Not well for yourself, but also for the show itself this coming weekend.
Well, I'd like to get, if there's anyone out there that just heard about it and would like to maybe put a few items on a table and sell some stuff, give me a call. 694-6381.
Okay.
Because I'm looking to sell more tables. The more tables we sell, the better off, the more money the Lions Club makes.
Yeah, and tell us what the money goes towards.
Well, the money goes for buying eyeglasses and operations. We've had, in the past year, we had 2 people that needed severe eye operations. And through the Florida, Lions Florida Foundation, if a club sponsors an individual, the club pays $200 towards whatever the operation is, and the foundation picks up the rest.
Oh wow.
And
Oh wow. Well, the rest.
That is
some of these
wonderful.
operations can be $4, $5, $6, $7, $10,000.
Yeah.
So, and then we use it for other things too. I mean, if there's a disaster like, the flooding and that out in Tallahassee area
Yeah.
and out in the Panhandle, our club donated money to that to help relief for.
How do you
food.
become a lion, or is that an unasked question? Am I not supposed to ask?
It's actually, you hit the nail on the head. You have to be asked.
You have to be asked.
Yep.
So you have to point to somebody and say, "I think that
Well,
would be a good lion."
Would you like to, come to a meeting, hear what we're about?
Really?
And then,
So if you show up and you kind of network with the Lions Club, you might be asked to be a lion.
correct.
All right.
that'd be wonderful.
Be a great way to get another good reason to go to the train show. So it's this Saturday and Sunday, the Silver Springs Lions Train Show fundraising event, and it starts at what time?
9 o'clock till 9 to 4 on Saturday and 10 to 2 on Sunday.
Okay. And then every year you come in here and twice a year you come in here and change that for the ad.
Right.
For those who don't know, when Bob Chadwick comes in to do the advertisement that you hear, he doesn't record the whole ad. The voice you hear is like 10 years old, except for that one little piece where it says the date and the time, right? Or
Right.
whatever.
Well, it makes it easier for everybody.
I know. It makes it easy for everybody.
That's right.
Exactly.
And the cost is $4 per person, but if you bring a food item, non-perishable, you can get $1 off.
Correct. And children under 12 are free with a paid admission.
Excellent.
And do we still have some free tickets here?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So we'll be giving
have
them away
4.
during Fun with Joe. By the way, so here's another eBay. Ready for this one? Look at the R17 complete set of, this looks like an old Subway from when I was a kid. $750.
Wow.
That sounds like Lionel.
The MTA Redbirds C10 Mint. Does that tell you anything? Anyways.
C10 Mint?
Yeah. Whatever.
Well, again, when you start going by ratings, that's the seller's rating.
Oh, okay. That's
You
what
know?
that means? Okay.
Well, he's basing it on a rating scale, but what you say is excellent and what I say is excellent may be 2 different things.
oh, I see. The word mint is his.
Mint
okay.
is in the box. Basically, it's never been out of the box.
All right.
Okay.
Nice.
Anyway, so if you listen to Fun with Joe later on, you can win some tickets to the train show. Otherwise, it's $4. Get in for $3 if you bring a non-perishable food item. Bob, always good to see you. Thank you.
Good to see you, Larry.
Thank you
Thanks
for
having
doing
me
this
on.
and for coming in and for all the things you've done for our community for all these years. We will move forward, take a little break, and we'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. A stunning loss for the Republican establishment in Virginia's primary. House Majority Leader Eric Cantor defeated by Tea Party activist David Brad.
The American people want to pay attention to serious ideas again. Our founding was built by people who were political philosophers, and we need to get back to that.
Well, Cantor, who possibly could have become the next Speaker of the House, said very little about his defeat during his concession speech.
Fox's Kelly Wright. One day after a deadly shooting, no school on what would have been the final day of the semester for Reynolds High School in Oregon.
The student killed is identified as a freshman, Emilio Hoffman. Officers found the suspect dead in a school restroom of likely self-inflicted wounds. No motive yet.
Fox Radio's Jeff Menasco. And NASA getting ready to launch a flying saucer-shaped vehicle into the Earth's atmosphere. Fox News. We report, you decide.
And now, another golf confessional brought to you by Golfsmith. A man who's in the Federal Witness Protection Program told us he recently left his quiet, anonymous row house and went to Golfsmith because right now, when you buy $99 worth of Adidas golf apparel or shoes, you get a $25 gift card. And we hope Jimmy Collin of 3792 Morningside Lane becomes a regular... Oh no. Right now, spend $99 or more on Adidas products and get a $25 gift card. Only at Golfsmith. Anything for golf.
Know-how! People say you need an oil change every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. Lucky you. Napa has 5 quarts of Pennzoil conventional oil and a Napa Silver filtered for just $20.99. Don't need an oil change? Then find a Napa store 3,000 to 5,000 miles away and change it when you get there for just $20.99. Conquer the job. That's Napa Know-how. General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer.
Are you a mom looking for inspiration? Are you creative? Mamazine.com is a lifestyle blog designed for the local mom to be inspired by the beauty of motherhood while staying current on local events and issues. Visit Mamazine.com today to find events around town, recipes, imaginative play ideas, and more. Mamazine.com.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new truck.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Cookies. When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. That's right. The Great American Cookie Company in the Paddock Mall, Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. You might notice that I said fun and delicious more than once. That's because I can't say it enough. The next time you're at the mall, be sure and stop by or call 352-237-2557 to place your order.
Cookies.
Yum.
Cookies. We go cookie eating cookies.
The Great American Cookie Company.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours.